Start soon.
Welcome to the Holistic Kid Show. My name is Zane.
My name's Abdullah.
And my name is Imad.
We're the Holistic Kids here to convert us kids from the inside out.
Let's talk all about GutSMART.
What do you just say when we're going to get our gut smarter? Wait, are we going to get our guts going to be smart? Do they have brains? Or is my brain in my gut? Or did they swallow my brain? I'm so confused.
Let's all become GutSMART by talking to Dr. Pedre today. He has a new book coming out called The GutSMART Protocol. Revitalize your health, boost your energy, and lose weight in just 14 days with your personalized gut healing plan. Dr. Vincent M. Pedre, aka America's Gut Doctor and best-selling author, medical director of Pedre Integrative Health, and the president of Dr. Pedre Wellness, is a board-certified internist in private practice in New York City since 2004. He is a clinical instructor in medicine at the Mount Sinai School of Medicine, as well as certified in yoga and medical acupuncture. Dr. Pedre is a sought-after speaker and writer on sustainable health, prevention, and integrative and functional medicine, and has made appearances on the Martha Stewart Show and has also been featured on radios like Sirius XM. The Doctor Show interviews on the Gary Null Show on progressive radio networks and also guest blogs on Yahoo. With his proprietary blueprint for healing the gut, his programs have helped thousands around the world resolve their gut-related health issues. Thank you so much, Dr. PJ. We are so honored you are here to join us today.
So
It's
how
great
does someone...
to be here with you guys.
It's our pleasure.
It's our pleasure.
It's our pleasure.
How does someone turn from a conventional medical doctor to a doctor that focuses on a gut? We believe that your story started when you're a child.
Well,
We would love to hear your story.
Yeah, it did. And I think I was never really a conventional doctor, even though I went through a conventional training. But even before I became a doctor, I became very interested in yoga and meditation and breath work and how that can change the internal state of the body. But before that, when I was a kid, I suffered a lot from problems with my stomach pains, severe constipation, like I was in tears at times when I was little, maybe 7, 8 years old. And then later on, I was on a lot of antibiotics, and those antibiotics messed up my gut. And because of those antibiotics, I just kept getting sicker and sicker, and my immune system was weak, and I developed what we call IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, which to me meant that if I had some ice cream, sometimes I was running to the bathroom afterwards and I didn't know what was going on. But there were a lot of foods that disagreed with me, and I just lived with it for many years because my parents didn't know any better. They didn't take me to holistic doctors. They took me to pediatricians that would just prescribe an antibiotic every time I was sick. And they just kept making me worse and worse.
So we love the name of your new book, but we are completely confused, like Ahmad said. How can our gut be smart?
I love that you picked up on the pun. So you know what a pun is, right?
Yes.
Yeah, a pun is a play on words. So, I decided to name my book Gut Smart, like saying get gut smart, because your gut actually has more neural connections than your brain. So it has more nerve endings than your brain. And you probably heard the saying, like gut feelings, like I felt it in my gut, or like if you were nervous, sometimes you feel butterflies in your stomach, or if you feel like something isn't right and you feel it in your gut first, and then you think it, but you're feeling it in your gut. So the gut is, even though we call it the second brain, sometimes we think of, this is our first brain. This is the brain that thinks and the one that processes and learns. But the gut, I think, is the first brain when it comes to intuition. Now, do you know what intuition is?
It's like you're feeling, you have a feeling of
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, intuition is when you have a feeling for something before it actually happens. So you say, like, you have a gut feeling that you're going to win this game. You just have this feeling that your team is going to win. Or you have a gut feeling that, you shouldn't go out today. Like, I don't know, something feels off. So that's something that a lot of people ignore, though. So there's always a conflict. There are 3 brains actually in the body. There's the brain that everybody knows about in the head. There's the heart brain, and then there's the gut brain. The gut brain tells you what your intuition is saying. The heart brain tells you what you feel passionate about. And then this brain, and you'll see as you get older and older, sometimes this brain thinks too much and it overrides, it vetoes what the other brains are saying. But the truth is that usually your gut intuition is right, and this brain maybe overthinks things and sometimes doesn't analyze things the right way. The information that they're getting is maybe partly the same, partly different. Your intuition is more like abstract thinking. It's not concrete. It's based on a lot of senses, and some of which we may not be fully aware of.
I mean, the human body is so cool. I mean, who would know all of this kinds of things that we have 3 brains, right? It's so cool and amazing.
So a lot of doctors, especially those that are conventional trained, don't really talk about the gut. When kids go to their doctors with these issues, no one ever talks about the gut. Why do you think that is?
I think that for a long time, conventional medicine has kind of stepped away from the roots of medicine, because if we went 100 years ago, and the main style of medicine that was practiced at the turn of the 20th century, the early 1900s, was more naturopathic, more holistic. And there was a belief system that the gut is the root and the foundation for a lot of things. So you have to think about the gut as a root system. So think of a tree. And the tree has all these beautiful branches, and it's got leaves. And then it has this incredible root system underneath that is designed to absorb all the nutrients, the water, the nutrients from the soil, and bring them up to all parts of the tree, including the branches. And if the tree is sick, you don't fix the tree. Like if you've seen a tree that's not doing well, you see maybe the leaves are a little bit brown, yellow. It looks a little bit sickly. Maybe the branches are a little bit wilted. And the way you fix the tree is you look at the soil, you look at the roots, you fix the nutrient part, and then the tree becomes better. But the way that medicine has gone is instead they're fixing the tree from the outside in. So if the leaves are green, they'll give you a Band-Aid instead. So it would be an example, if the leaves aren't green and the leaves are brown, but we want to make them green again, well, let's paint them green. Let's fix the symptom, but then we're ignoring what's actually happening inside. And that's what Western medicine does a lot of times, is it uses medications to treat a symptom. And sometimes these are good. Like, sometimes you're really uncomfortable and you need medication for allergies, medication for a cold. But ultimately, when you want to heal the body in a way that is more permanent and long-term, you have to do the same thing as the tree. You have to look at the root system, and your digestive system are like the roots of your tree, of your body. That's where you absorb all your nutrients. And I think because traditional medicine is very focused on medication, it's sort of lost its way from recognizing how important the digestive system is for helping with so many other things in your health.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, all our body is like the roots of the tree. It's what our heart, our gut, our brain. Without that, our body would not function at all. Even if we had just our heart and our brain, then our gut is, like they say, the gut is the home of the immune system. So then our bodies would get sick very fast, and it would be very hard to fight against them without our gut, which is why it's so important to take care of your gut so that you can take care of your body better.
You couldn't have said it better.
So let's start from the basics. Why is your gut so important? Why is your gut so important? Why should us kids care about our gut?
Well, one, if you've ever had a tummy ache, think about a time when you've had a tummy ache. When you have a tummy ache, do you feel happy?
No.
No. Can you be your full self, like your full vibrant self?
No.
Sometimes you even feel a little bit mentally down if you have a tummy ache. So the gut is controlling a lot of things. How about if you go to sleep with your tummy really full? Like you ate too much at dinner, you went and then you go to sleep, but your belly is still full. You're still digesting. Do you sleep all that night?
No.
No.
It's hard to go to sleep,
It's hard to go to sleep if you're still digesting. Yeah. So a lot of things that are happening in the gut actually control other processes in the body, how you feel, how your energy is. Like when you are sick in your belly, you don't have a lot of energy. You feel kind of low energy. It's hard to get through the day, and maybe it's even hard to think straight. So, just think of it like I said before, like the root system of the body. It's also the foundation for all of your health. And you can think of the foundation for a house. Like, what if you build a really big house, but it has no foundation? What's going to happen to the house?
It's going to fall.
It's going to collapse. Well, if you think of your body, like the health of your body is built on the foundation of your gut health. You need to build a strong foundation for your gut in order for all the other aspects of your health to work. Yeah. And without that foundation, then eventually your health is going to collapse.
So how do we actually know if our gut's in trouble? Like, could you explain that to us for everyone watching? Like, what are some signs?
You always know if there is a gut issue. It's obvious if you're having belly pains, right? So if you have a stomach ache, if you have nausea, if you have diarrhea, or you get constipated, those are what we call gut-centric symptoms that are happening inside your gut. And usually if you have a symptom like that, you know that you have a gut problem. But what if you come in with belly pain, but you also have a pulled muscle in your hip? And that muscle can make it feel like you have belly pain, but you actually don't have a gut issue. You actually have a muscle issue. And that's why it's so important. To a lot of doctors, they don't spend enough time with patients, and they just go really superficially. The person comes in and they're complaining of pain in their belly. And it could be that there is a problem with their gut, but sometimes there isn't. Most of the time there is. Now, what's confusing is when the problem isn't in your gut. and it could still be originating from the root system, but it's showing up in another part of your body. So maybe it's showing up with allergies when you get spring allergies. Maybe it's showing up with your brain not functioning too well, like you feel, they call it like mental fog, like you're in this fog. That happens a lot to people as they get older and they get different things like yeast infections in their gut. And you could get headaches, migraines. You might get skin rash, so eczema. So you have all these things that are happening outside of your gut that could happen even if you don't have any belly pain, you don't have any gut symptoms. Like you said, most of our immune system is all along the gut lining. So our gut is command central for the immune system. But maybe what happens to you, like happened to me, is that you get sick frequently. And you're getting sick with viruses that come in easily through your nasal passages, your nose, your sinuses. But it's really, again, thinking of the tree analogy and the root system, it's your gut that is controlling how well your immune system can see viruses and respond to them and keep them from making you too sick. So so you might have a gut issue with symptoms in your gut, or you might still have a gut issue, but the symptoms are appearing in other parts of your body.
So does your gut affect things like your skin health? Because obviously, the skin's on the outside. Does it affect your skin even?
Yeah, we call it the gut-skin connection. But I like to say that the gut is our inner skin. So this is our outer skin here. And the gut is actually made from the same cells, the same type of cells that form the skin in a baby when it's forming, the embryo. It actually turns those cells inward and creates a long tube that then becomes the gut, and one becomes the gut, the other the airway. So it's almost like they're originating from the same types of cells when you're just a couple of cells and you're like a little ball of cells that's dividing and becoming, a tiny baby that then becomes like your new arrival now in your family, because I know you have a new sibling. And so for that reason, I relate it, because what happens inside your gut is often reflected on the outside, on your skin, with a skin rash, with hives, which are like itchy bumps that happen on your skin, with eczema, which is like flaky skin, or even psoriasis that looks kind of like a big plaque, almost like a disc. And all these things are just, the skin is just an outer representation of what's happening inside your body, and specifically, again, your root system, your gut.
Also, just one question. Are the gut and the stomach different?
That's a really good question. We use the gut to refer to the entire digestive system. So when we say gut, we're talking about the stomach, the small intestine, the large intestine, everything inside of there. And a lot of times, we would say like, oh, like when you're little, you say my stomach hurts, but you might be pointing to your entire stomach, right? So it might not be like your stomach where food arrives first, but technically your stomach is the first part of your digestive system, right up here, right in the upper part of your belly, where food lands after you swallow. It first lands in your stomach. Are you finding your stomach?
Yeah, I'm showing them what their stomach is, because they thought it was the entire like belly, but they didn't realize that there's also the intestines over there as well.
Yeah, most of this down here is your intestines, and your stomach is sitting at the very top.
So let's talk about how we can heal the gut. I mean, you've been treating the gut for years. Is there a one size fits all or one diet that fits all?
There are certain things that are universal things that can help improve gut health for everyone. Like most people don't eat enough vegetables, so eating more vegetables, which means more fiber, and also having things that are like fermented foods. Those are things like yogurt, like kefir, yogurt drink, or things like sauerkraut. I don't know if you guys eat those things.
Yes.
Yeah, you
We
like
love
those.
sauerkraut.
You like those
Yeah.
things. Yeah, those are good for your gut. But not everyone can eat the same diet when it comes to healing the gut, because if you have a really sick root system, then maybe that root system can't digest or can't absorb certain vegetables or certain types of foods. So depending on what's happening with your gut, you actually have to change the way that you're eating. So for example, if you really been sick with your gut for a long time and you have a very sick root system, then you might not be able to eat raw vegetables. Like you can't eat a salad because it's going to be really hard to digest. So it's better to eat only cooked vegetables and no raw until you've healed your gut. Things have gotten a bit better. And then you can start introducing some raw foods. Same thing with like yogurt or fermented foods. So like sauerkraut. If you have severe gut issues, you can't have them. They're going to make you sick. They're going to make you not feel so good. So part of what I did in my book, The GutSMART Protocol, was create a quiz that helps people know what level of gut dysfunction they have. So you take the quiz, then it gives you a score. That score tells you if you are mild, moderate, or severe. And then based on what your score tells you, what level you're at, then I advise people on what they can eat and what they can't eat. And that way you can heal your gut, because it's harder to heal when you're eating things that are not good for you in that moment. They're going to make it harder for you to heal.
So that is awesome to
Awesome.
personalize your gut healing program. So let's talk about stress. Does stress affect the gut?
Stress, I always like to say that stress is like an attack on your gut. And it's really a self-induced attack, right? Because when you feel stressed, you're feeling it inside your body, right? So tell me this, like have you been ever felt nervous about a test at school?
Yes. Uh-huh.
And then you'd go into school that day, and maybe you feel like maybe you didn't study well enough, and then you feel kind of like your stomach's a little bit upset. The same foods you eat, maybe they don't sit so well. Maybe you had breakfast that morning and you're not feeling so good after breakfast because you're feeling nervous about the test. Has that happened to you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a very clear way to feel that connection between the brain and your digestive system, your stomach, your gut. And that's controlled by a very important nerve that is called the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve sends signals from the brain down to the digestive system, and it also sends signals back. So unlike, we're not like cell phones where we can send wireless signals. So the body, the way it communicates is through wires, and these wires are nerves. And the vagus is one of the biggest nerves in the body that helps control the internal environment. And it's attached to a part of the nervous system that you don't know is in control. You don't know that it's functioning, but it's part of the reason that you can sit up right now, that it's controlling things like your heart rate, your blood pressure. And by doing that, you're able to sit. Like you don't feel dizzy. You're not about to fall over because your blood pressure is being regulated. Your heart is pumping, your heart is beating. And that's keeping everything functioning without you having to think about it. But when you feel stressed, you can feel the effects on that system that's happening in the background, or what What if you went outside and suddenly a Doberman Pinscher, really scary, like big with big teeth, is barking and it's running right at you? What's going to happen?
You're gonna get scared, or like you're gonna fight or flight.
Your heart is going to start racing. You're going to get really scared. You're going to suddenly have like a burst of energy that will give you all the energy you need to run. It's going to be a burst of what we call adrenaline. And you're going to be able to run, probably you run it faster than you've ever run before in your entire life, right? The problem is that a lot of people are living that way, but without being chased by a scary dog or being in danger. They're in a state of heightened nerve activation. And when you're in that state, which is what we call stress, like you stressed about tests, you're stressed about life, school, etc., then it's almost like creating an attack on your gut. And when that happens, it actually is going to affect the way the root system of your body works. And it's going to allow things to get through that shouldn't get through, that should be kept on the other side. They're going to be able to get through because it makes the gut a little more leaky. So it's almost like, imagine your gut is like a cheesecloth. Have you ever used a cheesecloth when baking? Do you know a cheesecloth?
Like, no, probably not.
Or how about a coffee filter?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that.
Coffee filter, you understand. So imagine the coffee filter with all the grains, the coffee grains, and the hot water is going through. And when the water pours through, you don't want the coffee grains to get through, right? That's going to make the coffee taste really bad. You just want the filtered water to get through. Yeah. That's what your gut is doing for you all the time. And it's all those coffee grains is what becomes your poop later on. You're eating food, it's breaking down the food, then it's allowing the nutrients from that food to get in, but it's keeping out all the bad stuff that you don't want to get into your body. But what if I take that coffee filter and then I poke little holes all over the coffee filter? And now I fill it with coffee grains. And then I pour hot water over it. What type of coffee are you going to get? Is it going to be clean? It's going to be like mud, right? Yeah, it's going to have coffee grains on the other side. That's like having leaky gut, except what gets into your body. So the cup in this instance that's getting the coffee is like your body is receiving all the things. So if there are little holes in that coffee filter that are allowing the coffee grains to get through, that's the same thing as there being holes in your gut when your gut becomes leaky. And then it allows things that actually make you not feel so good, that increase inflammation in the body to get through. And that can happen from being on antibiotics, from eating too much sugar, from drinking alcohol, but also from being under too much stress all the time without any rest, play, relaxation. You guys are kids, so you know how to play, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. The problem is a lot of adults, we forget how to play. So then life gets too serious and it gets all about the stress and we forget how to be kids and play. Play, you have to remember to play until you're really old. It's important to keep a part of you that's still a kid.
Wow, that was amazing.
Amazing.
So what is one thing kids can do today to improve their gut health to be gut smart?
To be more gut smart.
Yeah.
I think probably there are a lot of kids out there. I mean, you've got a great mom. I know your mom, and I know she helps you vary your diet and eat a lot of different foods. But a lot of kids out there don't eat enough vegetables. So if they could increase the amount of vegetables that they have, like a salad every day or some greens, and bringing in some type of fermented food. So you guys like sauerkraut? Not every kid likes sauerkraut. I bet you if you go to school and you ask your friends, like, how many of you eat sauerkraut? How many of your friends are going to say, like, yeah, I love
You
sauerkraut?
probably won't know what sauerkraut is.
Yeah.
They might not know what sauerkraut is. Yeah. So, but they know what yogurt is. And yogurt is another great food for the gut. And you can get yogurt in different ways. You can get dairy-free yogurt, coconut yogurt. So increasing those foods is one of the best ways to help support healthier gut and gut microbiome.
That it was so inspirational. So inspirational.
So where can people find you and your amazing new book?
My new book, they can go to GutSmartProtocol.com, and it has all information for them on how to order the book and bonuses that they can get when they pre-order the book, as well as if they want to check it out, they can download a free chapter right now and see what the book is about.
That was so inspiring. Everyone, make sure to follow Dr. Pedre on social media. He is such an inspiration, and his new book is a groundbreaking book that everyone must have. Thank you so much, Dr. Vincent. We know that you are incredibly busy, so we are so honored that you could come join us today. Let's recap Dr. Vincent's key points.
Your digestive system is the root of your body. We need to take care of our digestive system because the health of our gut and your microbiome is the foundation of our health. But healing the gut is not all sizes fits all approach. Dr. PJ, our American's gut doctor, has put together a quiz to evaluate your gut to see what kind of diet, what you need to do to help you get better. Then get a personalized 14-day meal plans, food lists based on the results. He also has put together 70 mouth-watering gut healing recipes from a nutritionist, along with science-based breath and meditation exercises to de-stress and improve gut health, because stress is an attack on your gut. Remember to start eating more veggies, even though they might not taste good. They have so many benefits that can really change how you feel and make you feel a lot better and more brighter. Remember, eating sauerkraut, we love to eat the rainbow, so we can have different varieties of fruits and veggies to increase the diversity of our microbiome. Remember, when you heal your gut, you heal your body.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
You said it better than I could.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Until next time, I'm Sinai.
I'm Abdullah.
And I'm Maud.
Follow my page online on social media, Holistic Humanity, and look up for my mom's book, The Holistic RX, Your Guides in Chronic Inflammation and Disease. The Holistic RX for Kids, Parenting Healthy Brains and Bodies in a Changing World. And the amazing children's book we wrote together called Adam's Healing Adventures, The Power of Rainbow Foods, and the newest one out now called Adam's Healing Adventures, The Power of Gratitude. Kids need to learn from other kids. Please download our podcast and iTunes and leave a review so other kids and families can benefit. We need to work together to create a healthy future for all of us and the planet. Join us next week for another episode of The Holistic Kid Show, where kids are empowering kids. Thank you, everyone.